I got dumped by Lucas out of nowhere. He had this smirk, if my brother didn't like you, I wouldn't have chased you. I just wanted to see what his type was. Later, on the night his brother proposed to me, Lucas crashed his car in a race, demanding to see me. The man holding my waist took my phone. Not bothered, asking for your sister-in-law's opinion. The guy confidently handed me the phone. Wifey, say something. You don't want to see him? I bit my lip hard, not daring to make a sound. Since dinner, Lucas seemed distracted. I said a bunch of stuff, and he'd just nod with an occasional mm. His face only relaxed a little when he was scrolling through text messages. I saw it. The profile picture was a girl. That vibe lingered till we got in the car. I asked softly, going to your place or mine tonight? Lucas finally glanced at me, one hand steering to pull over by the curb. He chuckled, can't, Jessica's staying at mine tonight. You head back alone. I gotta catch a flight to pick her up. I was stunned for a moment. A chill ran through me. Mechanically, I asked, who is Jessica? When I went for you, I gave her up. Now she's back, and I want to make it up to her. Be good, let's break up. If she sees you, she'll be upset. So you're not coming to my grandma's birthday you promised to attend? She was happy you'd come. Lucas didn't care, we broke up, that's your problem. I stared at Lucas's handsome face, dumbfounded. He was the one who openly chased me in college. Everyone envied me. Lucas, handsome and passionate, pursued me fiercely. For years together, and I even imagined our wedding day. My mom just told me yesterday over the phone. Grandma's turning 80, so excited to see her future grandson-in-law. She's been preparing lots of dishes for Lucas to enjoy. Today, he just blindsided me with a breakup. My eyes stung. Lucas, what did you take me for? If you don't love me, just say it, I won't cling to you. But breaking up like this? Have you ever thought about a girl's feelings? Lucas leaned back, eyes unreadable. Then he laughed carelessly. If Henry didn't like you back then, I wouldn't have chased you. My heart felt like it was plunged into icy water, stiff and breathless. Did the relationship I opened my heart to mean nothing to him but a childish impulse? Lucas shrugged nonchalantly. I numbly got out of the car. A cold wind hit me, and I wrapped my arms around myself. Winter came early in South City. A thick layer of snow covered the ground. Lucas's sports car roared away, but then circled back to stop in front of me minutes later. Need a ride home? Jessica's flight got delayed. I didn't answer. He chuckled, we're adults, don't be a sore loser. We can still be friends. I squatted down, scooping snow and making a snowball, threw it at Lucas's face. Leave. His face darkened, grumbling, crazy. Childish. The engine roared again. The road was deserted, leaving just me. I wore heels today to match my long coat. They're pretty but pinch my feet. Crunching through the snow, feeling chilled to the bone. Tears wouldn't stop falling. I told myself. Gloria, you only get one night to be upset. Everyone wastes time on a jerk at least once, right? Grandma always said life has rough patches you just gotta push through. Yeah, just push through. An hour later, I ditched the ill-fitting heels for comfy slippers and walked into a bar. My bestie gave a thumbs up, first to wear slippers to a bar, nice one. Don't look so down, better this way. You've gone from a set menu to a buffet, more choices. She whispered in my ear, check out the quality today. See someone you like? I'll hook you up. I downed 2 drinks, both spicy and harsh, yet satisfying. No help needed, I'll handle it. My friend clapped her hands, look who's got guts now. The timid falling away? Usually, I'd never dare. But alcohol makes you brave. I scanned the room, half dazed. The singer on stage had nice hands. I'm a sucker for good hands, and his were perfect, long and pale, not just strumming strings but plucking at my heart. The voice too, seduced the ears. His deep eyes under the bangs were flirty. It's him. My friend grabbed my giddy self. Hold up, you picked the jackpot. He's not for us. He's friends with the bar owner, rocks occasional gigs. Place fills up when he's around. Don't you see the front row girls practically undressing him with their eyes? But he shows zero interest, brutally turns them all down. Stubbornly drunk, I insisted, I want him. I stumbled towards the stage as he was coming down. I tripped, falling right against his gray pants in front of everyone. As if that wasn't bad enough, one foot slipped out of the slipper, and it got stuck. After a struggle, I freed it, while laughter erupted around me. Mortified, even my friend hid her face, not claiming me. Laughter bubbled quietly. She went for the fall head-on with slippers on, someone joked. All Henry's fault, that face, that body, who wouldn't want to pounce? Who? Henry? Half sobered up. Is it that Henry? The med school legend back in college. We barely knew each other, he was like a moon in the sky, untouchably pristine. I never believed Lucas's claim that Henry liked me. Back then, I was just a regular girl. Nothing special except a good sense of humor that made friends laugh. Out of nowhere, a cool voice came from above. Are you okay? Do you think he'd believe me if I said yes? I'm dying of embarrassment. Suddenly, a strong but gentle hand pulls me up. His fingertips have a faint scent of sanitizer mixed with the smell of fresh grass. I get up and end up staring into a pair of deep-set eyes. He's a bit taller than Lucas, but they look nothing alike at all. Lucas is more rebellious, while Henry is reserved and refined. He gives an amused smile. Care to join me? I look for my best friend, and she flashes me a thumbs up. Almost on impulse, I follow Henry backstage. Are you hurt? Need my help, or would you rather check yourself? He steps closer, making his height a bit intimidating. No need, I can do it myself. I check my knee and palm. They're just slightly red, I'm okay. He hands me a bottle of water, then tilts his head back and drinks half of it. His Adam's apple moves up and down as droplets of sweat seep into his collar. I feel my cheeks warm up. Do you need something from me? The alcohol hits my brain, and I feel a bit dazed. Why was I looking for him again? Oh right, to relax. My best friend said I should meet new guys. I gather my thoughts. I guess I wanted to get to know him and then, later. But instead, I blurt out, I want to sleep with you. Awkward silence. We're both caught off guard. No, I meant I want to get to know you, then, sleep with you. I feel on the verge of tears. After a few seconds, Henry gives me a way out. He chuckles softly, are you drunk? I nod vigorously, trying to backtrack, yeah, totally drunk, just rambling. Want me to take you home? Okay. When I'm sitting in Henry's car with my best friend, it all feels surreal. She looks at me, full of admiration. I thought you were a beginner, but you're a pro, hooking such a perfect guy. I curl my toes and whisper, shoo, keep it down. Henry suggested dropping my friend off first before taking me home. My friend pats my thigh, seriously, if you don't go for a guy like this tonight, it's on you. I wince and cover her mouth. I just broke up, remember? It's just a breakup, not childbirth. You don't need a year or so to recover. Sis, live a little, relationships are natural. Well, she kind of has a point. But I don't think he likes me, he's just being nice. Oh, please, no one does nice things for no reason. Girl, I swear, he's into you. I hesitate, but you don't have a conscience. Henry drops me at my door and turns to leave. Liquid courage kicks in, and I ask, it's late, wanna come in for water? We all know water is just an excuse. Henry stops, looks me dead in the eye. Nah, let Lucas take care of you. Shocked, I tell him, we broke up. And you're not just any guy, right? Fine, if he's not interested, I have my pride. I wave him goodbye. But the next moment, he's standing in my living room. Tall and calm, he says, I was actually thirsty, sipping water. He really knows when to be thirsty, huh? Henry clears his throat, and yes, I am a decent guy. But then he adds, but maybe a little less decent right now. We started drinking water on the couch, but somehow we ended up close. Really fast. I'm on his lap, my hands on his shoulders, his fingers around my waist. We're kissing like there's no tomorrow. This is the fastest I've ever gotten intimate. Am I really drunk? Lowered my guard against men, probably. His lips are cool and feel really good. When I'm almost out of air, he guides my hand to unbutton his shirt. I freeze. I'm not usually so forward. He smiles, it's okay. You can be forward with me. Something feels off, it's like he's leading. Thankfully, his phone rings, breaking the moment. I gently push him away for air, urging him to answer. He catches his breath, his eyes teasingly red, somehow even more appealing. Henry listens to the call, looking serious. Then he calmly buttons up, sorry, there's an emergency at the hospital. I need to go. I swallow hard and breathe a sigh of relief. Maybe I'm not as bold as I thought. I have my limits. Gloria, add me on WeChat? My phone's dead. He pauses, a hint of disappointment in his eyes. Looks around, scribbles on a paper. My number, my WeChat, my address, and the hospital address. Gloria, if you want to contact me, feel free. After seeing him out, it hits me. Did Henry think I was making excuses? Nowadays, saying your phone's dead is a total brush off. But mine really was dead. In my fluster, I forgot to explain. Must have been that kiss messing with my head. After weeks of non-stop work and a business trip, I practically forgot to add Henry. The day I return, my friend insists we go out to unwind. Little did I know, I entered the wrong room. About to leave, I spot a familiar face through the crack. Lucas, what's up with you and Gloria? We broke up. I'll introduce you to Jessica soon. Surprised you let her go after a 1.5-year chase. Lucas squints, exhaling smoke, got her, and that was basically it. Someone jokes, Jessica may just be a fling, Gloria's the keeper for marriage. I can always win her back. Lucas chuckles, Gloria is loyal to a fault. She won't date anyone new for a while. 3. Those guys, they know each other inside and out. They probably already knew what Lucas said when he was trying to woo me. If Gloria ends up with Henry, Lucas can forget trying to win me back. Lucas paused with his cigarette in hand. Then lazily leaned back. With that cheeky grin, Henry's got OCD, Gloria and I shared a bed for a year, how could he possibly take over? His friends winked and nudged each other, Gloria's got a killer body, you lucky dog. Lucas just took another drag, all casual, it's whatever, nothing exciting. I laughed bitterly inside. Is he making stuff up about Huang Yao? Sure, we shared a bed, but we never went all the way. Every time things got to taking the nightie off, I clung to it, sweating and unable to breathe. It was my issue, worked on it with therapy, gave it a shot, but Lucas didn't want to wait. Once when I was too anxious to go further, he coldly said, Gloria, quit acting like some innocent. Grabbed his coat and stormed out. That was probably why he wanted to break up. Even though I'd already given up on that snowy night, those words still stung a bit. My clenched hand slowly relaxed. All right, Lucas. Maybe I'd like to try being your sister-in-law. Who says I can't find a new guy? I found the number on that piece of paper. Henry, can I pick you up after work today? He replied almost instantly. Welcome. I followed the address on the paper to Henry's office. Is Henry around? Nope, he just left with his fiancée. I froze. Henry has a fiancé? His colleague didn't even glance up as he answered, family arranged it. What's your business with Henry? I was shocked. Last time, he kissed me, and he has a fiancé? What a jerk, typical guy, none of them are any good. I stormed out of Henry's office. But then I bumped into him and his fiancée in the hospital corridor. Breaking up? The woman was glamorous but angry. You want to cut ties with me for good? Henry had hands in his pockets, calm as he replied, this engagement was my father's idea. Never agreed to it, you know that. She was defiant. I thought if I waited, I'd win your heart. But you're heartless, no interest in me? Not even if I'm naked? Sorry, really not interested. The girl shot me a glare for no reason. You after him too? Don't waste your time, he's just a pretty face, really can't perform. I stood there, a bit lost. She stormed off, hips swaying angrily. So, he has a fiancé, but also doesn't? Not really a jerk then, right? Plus, he's not into it too, like me. Looking at his handsome face, I oddly felt a bit sorry for him. Henry shrugged, she calls herself my fiancé. I didn't even go to the engagement party, my dad handled it. So, Gloria, I'm single, no strings attached. No need to let her words bother you. Bother him how? Hurting his manly pride? I was still stuck on the previous convo. It's okay, Henry. I won't make fun of you. I can't perform either, I'll keep your secret. My pathetic way of comforting, sharing my own issues to soothe him. Henry hesitated. Then said with interest, Gloria, how can't you perform? Do tell. He had a serious face but a teasing tone. You can talk to me like I'm a doctor, no need to hide it. A breeze lifted his lab coat slightly. With his gentle voice urging me, I confessed. Back in high school, some thug scared me, so I can't really let my guard down with guys. At some point, he gently uncurled my balled-up fingers. Relax, it's really no big deal. Maybe being judged by Lucas in that area left me feeling like I was acting or exaggerating, becoming a mental block. Henry patted my head, you can overcome it, if you want to try. How do I try? He softly replied, with a new boyfriend. But I don't have one. He gave me a deep look, Gloria, you might not realize, but last time was my first kiss. Oh. You, oh, so loud, are you not gonna take responsibility? He looked sad, almost breaking down. If you won't take responsibility, it's okay, I'm nearly 30, I can handle some heartbreak. At worst, I fall apart, get depressed, affects my work. The change in mood caught me off guard. Alright, Henry, I'll take responsibility. You're my boyfriend now, deal? He blinked, Gloria, don't push yourself. My dad's affair with Lucas's mom led to my mom's early death. I had no mom growing up and was stuck with my grandpa, starved for affection. Then got forced into a match with someone I don't like, and get publicly shamed for failing to perform. Being let down once or twice is nothing. The more he spoke, the guiltier I felt. I reached for his hand, Henry, no pushing. I've had my eye on you for a while. He raised an eyebrow, didn't notice. Henry, can we try tonight? Henry's eyes lit up, you should have said earlier, I'd never say no. Dazed, I took him home. Thinking two people with issues, what's to try? Henry seemed to catch my thought. He lightly coughed, you can teach me, lead the way. After all, you're more outgoing. No, I'm not. He looked at me intently, well, you did say you wanted to sleep with me that first night at the bar. Henry said it so calmly, my cheeks were burning hot. Until he guided my hand to his buttons. Mumbling things that didn't match his cool demeanor. Gloria, I'm a bit nervous. That sounded familiar, I'd said it before, and got laughed at for faking it. In empathy, I stood on my toes and kissed his lips. Don't be nervous, take it slow. I kept kissing him, calming him down. It's alright, let's give it a go. If it doesn't work, we'll stop. No big deal. I was talking to him, but also kind of to myself, with my own little issues. This should be something joyful, no need to force it. I can wait for you. Henry's eyes were like clear water. Okay, he said, I'll listen to you. It made me feel like I was really his mentor. I was focused on taking care of Henry's feelings. Awkward kisses, gently intertwined. When I took off his shirt, I didn't notice his deft hands quietly doing the same to me. By the time I realized it, it was too late. Henry had already transformed from that innocent big cat into a fiery beast. His lean, strong arms were holding my waist. Even though he was assertive, he was still patient, waiting for me to adjust. Beads of sweat rolled down from his forehead, but he was always mindful of my emotions. Gloria, don't be scared. I'm here. His kisses landed densely on my forehead, nose, lips. Suddenly, an abrupt ringtone shattered the warmth in the room. Henry glanced at the screen, frowning. Lucas. I panicked for a moment, trying to hang up but accidentally hit the answer button. Gloria, I broke up with Jessica. I'll go with you tomorrow to celebrate your grandma's birthday. Babe, let's get back together. I quickly disconnected the call, turned off the phone, all in one go. Lucas had several numbers, and I missed deleting one during our breakup. Before I could even finish a thought, the doorbell rang urgently, with Lucas's voice, a bit angry. Gloria, open up. I know you're home. Lucas is always stubborn like this. If you don't open up, fine. I'll wait. I have a spare key to your place. I felt a wave of panic. I had no idea he had a spare key. Henry pursed his lips, picked up his phone, and made a call. Old man, get your good son Lucas back at the old house immediately. He can't go out tonight. No, not tomorrow either. Whether I come back for your 60th birthday next month depends on whether Lucas returns tonight. He hung up without waiting for a response. I was stunned. In the quiet night, I heard the sound of a lock turning and felt a chill of fear. Then suddenly, Lucas's phone rang. I overheard his frustrated voice. No way, Dad, going back now. Are you kidding? Fine, I'll go back. Stop bringing up my racing. The world returned to peace. I looked at Henry. He gave me a small smile, then leaned over and bit my lip with eyes full of intensity. In a moment of slack, he took full advantage, advancing relentlessly. Gloria, do you like it? Look, you can handle it. He fiercely sucked on my lip, silent. Is this not to your liking? Under his persistence, my words were broken and off-key. I like it. Say it clearly, who likes who? Speak. As euphoria burst like fireworks in my mind, I cried out, Gloria likes Henry. Henry's eyes crinkled with warmth, his voice clear as water. Good girl, I've liked you for a long time. Feeling exhausted and drowsy, I mumbled while hugging the blanket, Henry, you liar. I didn't lie to you. What part of me wasn't up to the task? Clearly, I was. Henry looked unflustered. It was you who healed me. Henry, you're pretending to be a sheep in wolf's clothes. All right, my little tiger cub, go to sleep. As I closed my eyes, Henry wrapped me up in his arms along with the blanket, and we fell asleep together. The moon outside wore a sly smile and hid behind the clouds, Gloria blinking her little eyes. In the morning, I woke up to a wonderful smell. Barefoot, I found Henry in the kitchen. Wow, Henry's omelette looked pretty good. I casually snapped a picture of the omelette and posted it on my social media. Morning bliss. Henry placed breakfast on the table. His gaze fell on my feet, and he frowned slightly. The floor's cold, wear shoes. He lifted me onto a chair and put a pair of slippers on my feet. After breakfast, time to hit the road. Hit the road? Your grandma's birthday, I'm coming. Suddenly, I remembered Henry's words from the phone, not allowed out tomorrow either. I couldn't help but laugh. You're keeping Lucas at bay, huh? He didn't even look up. Nope. Hurry up and eat your omelet. And wouldn't you know it, speak of the devil, Lucas, who never likes my posts, suddenly liked my omelet post. He texted me too, not bad, but skip the parsley next time. I don't like it. My chest tightened. Don't flatter yourself. Huff, you know I love omelets, isn't that bait? Gloria, admitting you still like me, is it that hard? By the way, go to Grandma's birthday yourself. I'm busy today. Henry glanced at my phone. Need any help? Girlfriend. His long eyelashes fluttered, and I blinked. No need. Then tell him you have a boyfriend. Let him give up. Henry stared at me, and for some reason, I did exactly what he said. But Lucas kept being confident. You're making this up. It hasn't even been a month since we broke up, and you already have a new boyfriend? Really? My new boyfriend is Henry. Even less believable. Henry got a girlfriend at a bar this month. He's in love. You've got no chance. This month? A bold thought flashed through my mind, not daring to be too bold. This month. Isn't that when I went out drinking and landed on Henry? Henry looked at me with intensity, almost as if to say, yes, that's it. Lucas tried to say more, but Henry suddenly held my hand, and very inconveniently, his thumb brushed over the end call button. Then he calmly said, sorry, though there wasn't an ounce of regret in his eyes. Oops, interrupted your call. Do you want to call back? While saying this, he had already discreetly placed my phone on the corner of the table and brought me a glass of milk. I'm not that petty. You calling your ex? Nah, that won't make me jealous at all. Even though Lucas isn't as tall or as handsome as me, and he's not as faithful, his personality is pretty average. But he does have a thick skin. I still don't get why you liked him before. If he tries to bug you again, would you soften up? Henry's words showed both confidence and insecurity. Absolutely not, from now on, he's just your brother, nothing more. Henry raised an eyebrow. You can pretend he's not. I never really saw him as one. Alright, let's head to Grandma's. He dragged me to the mall and loaded the car with stuff. Deer antler, bird's nest, tea, and fine quality white jade. Only picking the pricey stuff. This handsome sucker had the salespeople captivated. Especially when he swiped his card without batting an eye. That's enough, my grandma can't use all that stuff. The more, the better. It's my first time visiting, I'm a bit nervous. I squeezed his hand. It's okay, my family's really easygoing. Oh, well, kiss me then, I'll be less nervous. Was he even nervous? He's just teasing me. My family lives in a scenic countryside village. The car barely parked at the entrance. Grandma, with her full head of silver hair and healthy complexion, walked out holding a dog. But the first thing she said was, "Are you Lucas? My granddaughter's boyfriend. Our whole family knows you. Turns out you're quite handsome, even the dog is circling around you. Our dog loves good-looking people. It'll stick around those it finds attractive while making a wide berth for those it doesn't." Grandma said warmly, pulling Henry inside, "Lucas, let me tell you." I glanced at Henry. He seemed cool and collected, unfazed. "Grandma, he's Henry." Couldn't quite explain that I'd broken up with Lucas, and within a month, got involved with his brother. My family's a bit traditional, especially Grandma. If she found out, she might just chase me with a stick. Having heard there's a top-tier hospital doctor visiting, the neighbors were thrilled. Originally, they wanted to check out the future son-in-law of the family. But ended up showing him all their ailments. "Henry, my sleep's been off. Could you take a look?" "Henry, I've got a stomach ache and some acid reflux." I whispered in his ear, "Henry, aren't you a Western doctor? How do you know how to take a pulse?" My grandpa was a traditional Chinese doctor, picked up a bit from him. The neighbors were happy, Grandma was delighted too. Over dinner, she even picked out the biggest chicken drumstick for him. Lucas, eat more, it's home-raised chicken, very nutritious. Grandma called him Lucas all night. Henry corrected her once or twice with a smile, then let it be. Watching me eye the drumstick, Henry chuckled and placed it on my plate. Little glutton, Grandma chided me. Grandma, are you really my grandma? I pouted and complained. Henry cleared his throat. It's okay, Grandma, what's mine is hers. Grandma's smile broadened. When are you two getting engaged? Henry chuckled. Whenever Gloria's ready, I'm all in. I was a bit taken aback. We hadn't known each other that long. Grandma asked, feigning seriousness, how long have you liked our little glutton? Henry put down his chopsticks, earnestly, for a long time, but Gloria just recently gave me a chance. My heart was suddenly hit by something. Grandma suddenly turned into a die-hard fan. You two make a great couple. After dinner, I pulled Grandma aside. Grandma, he's Henry, not Lucas. Grandma's loved me since I was little. I didn't want to lie to her, so I briefly explained. She patted her bamboo cane. I know he's Henry. This old brain's still sharp. I deliberately called him Lucas all day. He didn't get angry, seems like a nice guy. He's very patient with the neighbors too, even as they surrounded him. He has eyes for you. Wherever you go, his eyes follow. Grandma can see he really likes you. I hugged Grandma. You knew all along. I thought you'd scold me. Grandma gave me a side eye. It's not the olden days. As long as it's the right person, someone who treasures my little glutton. In the evening, Henry and I strolled under a sky full of stars. The fireflies along the road flashed, swirling around the foxtails. I plucked a few foxtails. When I was young, I'd make rings out of their stems. While I was making one, Henry picked some too, attempting to follow my steps. He's dexterous and quick-witted. Soon enough, he crafted a decent-looking grass ring. Henry, you're good at this. The teacher showed me well. You taught me well last night too. Images from last night flashed in my mind, my cheeks warmed. Henry suddenly grabbed my finger. Grandma has been pushing us all day. How about we rehearse once? With that, he dramatically knelt on one knee, holding up the grass ring. Will you marry me? I'll get you a real one later. It was like playing house. I was tickled pink. Before I could respond, Grandma popped out from the reeds, startling me. You better say yes. These mosquitoes are killing me. I laughed. Grandma, what are you doing here? Following us? She held her head high, walking the dog. Henry relaxed his eyebrows. Grandma, where's the dog? It went back by itself, Grandma replied confidently. Henry laughed softly. Better say yes. Let Grandma go to bed early. Okay, I agree. I raised my finger, snapping a photo under the moonlight and posting it on my social media. Might get locked down by a grass ring. Henry's hand slipped through my fingers, gripping them tightly. At that moment, I felt strangely close to Henry. A little while after we returned to the city, Henry indeed got me a real ring. A blue diamond ring, shaped like the sun. Gloria, does this ring remind you of that night with Gloria? Yeah, Henry's so romantic. No, I'm only romantic to Gloria. The day Henry was busy with his surgery, I went to a classmate's wedding with my best friend and ran into Lucas. It hadn't really been that long since we broke up. During dinner, a Hong Kong classmate who didn't know about it joked with me, Gloria, when are we celebrating your wedding? I didn't catch on at first and thought they were talking about Henry. I laughed and said, soon. I like spring. Henry said we'll have our wedding during the time when the flowers bloom, not too hot, not too cold, just right. Lucas took a sip of wine and lazily said, Gloria, are you urging for marriage now? I frowned. What are you talking about? Lucas spread his hands. All right, I'll go buy the ring later, okay? My old man also said I need to settle down, otherwise, he won't let me race cars. Lucas's friends chimed in. I said it. Gloria's perfect to marry. Right, bro, really turning over a new leaf. My bestie's face darkened. How do we run into such a conceited guy at a wedding? Lucas cheekily said, such a sharp tongue. At my wedding, you're not allowed to be a bridesmaid. My bestie laughed, don't worry, I'll never go to your wedding or be your wife's bridesmaid in my life. Lucas raised an eyebrow at me, she's the one? Fake best friend. I smiled, yeah, she really won't go to your wedding because my groom isn't you. I told him, word by word, Lucas, I'm engaged. Lucas froze for a moment, then burst out laughing. Making it up, you? Engaged? To that poor guy who gave you a cheap grass ring? I held up my hand showing the ring. Diamond ring. It's real. Lucas's eyes darkened, and his smile fell. All the classmates around me looked on with envy, wow, congrats. This quality blue diamond is rare, huh? Who's the groom? Is he handsome? Speaking of Henry, I thought of the nutritious breakfast he made for me this morning, of his great body in just an apron, and of his face always filled with sunshine. I couldn't help but show off, yes, he's crazy handsome. Lucas's friends sneered, more handsome than Lucas? I smiled, way more. I used to not know good from bad. Lucas's face was dark as ink already. On the way back from the restroom, Lucas suddenly grabbed my wrist. You really got engaged? Gloria, how could you do this to me? I pulled my wrist back. Didn't you know we've been broken up for over a month? His throat moved up and down, just over a month, and you found someone already? I repeated my bestie's words. Breaking up isn't having a baby. You don't need a year or so of recovery time. I scoffed, plus, I was the one who got dumped. Who are you trying to act like the betrayed one for? Not even my grandma's dog would care. Gloria, who is he? Henry. Lucas still didn't believe it, whether he actually didn't or just couldn't accept it. Impossible, Henry's a germaphobe, he wouldn't go for it. With a loud slap, I hit him. The last time in that booth, and now, making things up about Yao Huang, do you have any decency? Lucas rubbed his cheek, you have a shadow in your mind, even if it's Henry, it won't work out. He'd just think you stayed pure for me. Gloria, let's give it another try and it'll work. I couldn't help but roll my eyes. Lucas, actually, you're the one who isn't capable. I thrive under pressure. I took big strides and left, leaving Lucas looking stunned behind. Back home that night, I focused on writing on my laptop. Henry read his medical books beside me. I suddenly remembered, Henry, if I really had something with Lucas before, would you mind? Henry looked into my eyes, pausing for 2 seconds. Just as my expression started to sour, he pulled me, laptop and all, onto his lap. Do you still like Lucas? I shook my head. He nodded in satisfaction. That means he's in the past. The past is gone, and now I'm your present and future. Loving someone means accepting all of them. Gloria, did you hear something unpleasant tonight? I briefly mentioned running into Lucas. He frowned, the things someone standing in trash says can still affect you? Honey, you need to understand, men who don't respect women are harmful waste in trash sorting. Keep away from Lucas, okay? Whatever discomfort from seeing Lucas disappeared with Henry's words. I hugged his neck happily, okay, I'll listen to Henry. Good girl, he murmured, his hands slipping under my clothes. Outside the wind howled, but inside felt warm and cozy. Suddenly a loud, unwelcome ringing sliced through the intimate moment. It was an old acquaintance, a mutual friend with Lucas. Gloria, sorry to bother you. Lucas crashed his car. He's bleeding everywhere and refuses to get in the ambulance unless you come. In the background, Lucas's slightly trembling voice could be heard. Gloria, you used to worry about me when I was hurt. This time's worse than any before, won't you come see me? I don't believe our 4 years together can't measure up to someone you've only known for 40 days. Gloria, will you come? The grip Henry had on my waist tightened as he snatched my phone. He frowned at the phone and sneered, that 4 years, just a way to count time. You want to see Gloria? I don't mind. Ask your future sister-in-law. Henry handed the phone back to me and buried his head, leaving a trail of hot kisses. Wife, speak up. You don't want to see him, right? I bit my lip, not daring to make a sound. My ears felt like they were ringing, drowning out whatever Lucas said on the other end. Henry silently ended the call and turned off his phone. The warmth kept building, and I let myself get lost in this sweet whirlpool. Henry, I can't take it anymore. Call me honey, and I might let you go. Honey. Not sweet enough, try again. I braced myself, honey. It's honey, pronounce it clearly, babe. I bit him angrily, honey, I really can't take it. He looked like his eyes were full of stars. You can't, but I still can. Henry, you're such a liar. I am, and it'd be perfect if I could fool you forever. Lucas happened to be recovering in the hospital where Henry worked. Henry insisted I buy a fruit basket to visit Lucas. I'm always generous, so if I promise to let you see him, I mean it. I picked apples, cherries, bananas, and Henry took them all out. His lips barely moving, he told the store owner, give me the sourest, most bitter fruits for the basket. I looked at him, what's that supposed to mean? Sour, bitter fruits match his mood better. I'm a good brother, right? Show some understanding for my brother's feelings. I laughed helplessly, sure, whatever. When I saw Henry wrapped like a mummy in the VIP room, I was taken aback. I whispered and tugged Henry's sleeve, he wasn't hurt that bad, does he need all this wrapping? Henry raised an eyebrow nonchalantly, I'm his attending physician now, so I decide. Henry, is this really okay? It's all in the family, why not give him extra care? I'm not even bothered by him wasting all that gauze. Fine, whatever he says goes. When Lucas first saw me, his eyes lit up. But when he saw Henry's stern face behind me, the light visibly faded. Henry, get me a different doctor, I don't need your treatment. Henry put his hands in his pockets, I'm the best doctor in this department now, who else do you want? I don't care, I just want a change. Fine, go tell your dad. Henry shut his mouth angrily. After a while, he glared at us. I will never wish you well, and Dad won't let a woman marry into our family after she's been with both brothers. Even if Dad spoils you, he won't agree, he cares about appearances. Henry wasn't affected one bit, yeah, he doesn't agree. But why do I need your blessing? Your jealousy is enough for me. Also, if you don't want your mouth sealed shut, best keep quiet. Lucas definitely looked a bit intimidated by Henry. Henry chuckled softly, taking a household registration book from his pocket. I went solo yesterday, all on my own with this one. Gloria, if she enters, she's entering my house, has nothing to do with yours. Of course, that's only if Gloria wants to come, if not, I'd be okay moving into her house. I looked at him, a little shocked. Feeling a bit warm in the palms. Gloria, Henry's not fully healed yet today, it's a great day to get a marriage certificate. Lucas was furious, you're planning to get married in front of me, am I dead or what? Henry frowned in mock difficulty, wanna be dead? Tough, I only heal, not harm, now what? I quickly pulled Henry out. Afraid if he stayed longer, Lucas would get furious enough to pop. Why are you pulling me out? Worried he'd explode? I stood on my toes and kissed his lips. Don't be sour, let's get married, we can still catch the office hours. Henry's lips curled up immediately. We were the last couple registered at the marriage office today. And the office was on the same street where I had my last breakup. Turns out, the end of one road can be the start of another. Henry nodded toward a green trash can up front with his chin. See, that night, I was in the car and I saw a girl take off her heels there. I actually followed her a while, watched her cry, watched her smile. And saw her toss her heels in the trash with style, even better accuracy than my high school basketball shots. I also saw her casually buy slippers at a roadside store, calling her friends to head to a bar. My eyes widened, no wonder I felt followed. It was you? I had plans that night, but turned around and went to the bar, sang lead on purpose. My friends were surprised, they didn't know I was lying in wait. But Henry, I was the one who hit on you first. A pleasant surprise. Henry clasped my hand, warming it with his. Gloria, even if you hadn't come that night, I would have gone to you. In the deep winter, it got dark early. As we walked, dusk quietly fell. Unknowingly, we reached the bar's entrance. Looking up, the moon curved into a smile, and Gloria playfully twinkled beside it. A word suddenly popped into my head. Henry, the moonlight is enchanting tonight. Henry raised an eyebrow lightly. Oh, trying to charm me? Then I'll reluctantly go in, sing a song, and let you pounce. No, I'm outta here. To pounce at home. I skipped ahead as I walked. Under a sky full of stars, Henry quietly watched me, smiling. Unexpectedly, this snowy road turned out to be a warm path.